Hi guys, today we're going to be talking about equivalent fractions, and as I was saying, hi guys, Frankie decided to come over and say hi too, so hi! He thought I was talking to him. Bye. Okay, so our objective today is going to be to understand that two fractions are equivalent or equal if they are the same size based on the same whole or the same point on a number line. We're not going to talk about number lines today, but we're going to talk about the actual fractions that are written out. So let's start with, what if I had one bar? If we were in a regular classroom setting, I would ask you to get out one sheet of paper. So if you have a sheet of paper right now, you might want to go grab it. So if you have one sheet of paper or one note card or one sticky note, how many parts do you have? So let's say I have my one sticky note. How many parts is this? One, right? You have one part. Do you remember if the part goes on the top of the fraction bar or on the bottom of the fraction bar? Is it the numerator or the denominator? That's right. The part goes on top, so it is the numerator. So we have one part. So if we were writing this bar or this piece of paper as a fraction, we would put one on top as our numerator, but what would we put as our denominator? That's what we would put at the bottom, right? Our denominator goes on the bottom. And what does our denominator tell us? It tells us the whole. Good. So our part goes on the top, our whole goes on the bottom. So what is the whole of this piece of paper? The whole thing is just one piece of paper. So our fraction for this bar would be 1 over 1. 1 part over 1 whole, which just means 1. Remember, anytime you have the same number on top as the same number as bottom, it's a whole number, 1. Good. Let's look at this one. What if that same bar, look, it's the exact same bar, was split into two pieces? Okay, so what if I had two sticky notes that were exactly the same size, or two pieces of paper that were exactly the same size, okay, that were put together. I have it split into two. What would my part be? How many parts do I have? If both sides of the bar are colored in, or if I have two sticky notes, right? What would my part be? 1, 2. If both of them are colored in, or if both of them aren't colored in, that's your part. Okay? So you have 2, that would go on top. Now what's our whole? Well, my whole thing, if I put them together, is still 2. So my part, it's split into two parts. The whole thing is 2. So what would our fraction look like? 2 over 2, or 2 halves. Did you know that 1 over 1 and 2 over 2 is representing the same fraction value? It both represents one whole, okay? 1 over 1 and 2 over 2 are the exact same. Now, what is an equivalent fraction? We haven't even talked about that yet, Miss Minton. For 4 whole minutes you've been rambling about 1 over 1 is the same as 2 over 2. Well, let me tell you, equivalent means the same. So, if you have equivalent fractions, that means they have the exact same value. They are worth the same amount. So this fraction bar, 1 over 1, is the exact same as 2 over 2. 1 over 1 equals 2 over 2. Mind blown. It's amazing. Okay, well, how do we find an equivalent fraction for something that's not a whole number? Like, it's not the same number on the top as the bottom. Like 1/2. Okay, so we need to find a fraction that has the same what as 1/2? The same value. It has to have the same worth. So here I have one part shaded, right? And how many parts are in all? 1, 2, okay? So this is the fraction 1/2. We know that. This is 1/2. Now down here, I have split my bar into 4 pieces, okay? Well, I don't know. If I just filled in one of these boxes, would it look the same as 1/2? I don't think so, because then it would kind of stop right here, and then this white space would be too big to match that. Ooh, I know what I can do. I'm gonna Control C and copy that. And I'm going to see where I can put this bar that's the exact same as the one above. Right here. I have 1/2 and 1/2. It's exactly the same. But how many boxes did I cover up? I'm covering up 2 boxes. So how many in all? 1, 2, 3, 4. That would go on the bottom. Because up here are 1/2. Right? 1 on the top, 2 on the bottom. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 would go on the bottom. And how many are covered up? 1, 2. So if I put that box over the 2, get it a little easier to see, it would be 2 over 4. 2 are colored in out of 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes. So 1/2 is equivalent or equal to 2/4. Those are equivalent fractions. They have the same value, they're just using different numbers. Okay, now I want you to try to figure out, is each cookie, it's like a cookie pizza, I guess. I think you can get those at Pizza Hut, maybe? I think they have those. Maybe it's Papa John's, I can't remember. Maybe they both have them. They're really good though. You should try them if you haven't had them. But if I'm looking at my pizza cookies here, I can see the parts that are shaded in. So if one hole is shaded in, it would look like this, right? So this would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts shaded in out of 6. 6 over 6 is the same as 1. Cool. But this one only has 1, 2, 3 out of 6. 1/2 is the same as 2/4 is the same as 3/6. 1/2. Okay, what about this one? Does it look like half of it's shaded in or a whole? 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 4 is shaded in. Looks like a whole to me. And last but not least, we have how many parts shaded of our 4 pieces? 2 parts. So this would be 2 over 4, which is the same as 1/2, which we saw on this slide. 1/2 is the same as 2/4. Now, why this works, if you would like to know, I will tell you right now. But if this is too much information for you, after I say this and you don't understand it, that's totally fine. But some of us might want to know why this is happening. It's really quite simple. All you have to do is you have to multiply your top number by the same thing as your bottom number. So here I multiplied the top by 2, 1 times 2, and I got 2. Then I multiplied the bottom number by 2, 2 times 2, and I got 4. So that's how you can find another equivalent fraction for a fraction. If I would have multiplied the top times 3, I would have gotten 3. Then the bottom times 3, I would have gotten 6. So that's why 1/2 is the same as 3/6. All you have to do is multiply the top and the bottom by the same number to find the equivalent fraction. Now, if you're sitting there like, oh my gosh, I was following you and now I'm so confused, then that's okay. The part that I want you to take away from this is that an equivalent fraction, right here, is a fraction that has the same value as another fraction. It's exactly the same value, it just looks different. Okay, they're worth the same amount. So you need to realize that these cookies look the same, no matter how many parts they're split into. And these look the same, no matter how many parts they're split into. All right, guys, go ahead and finish up that HyperDoc for today. And I think today you're going to be doing your, let's look on our HyperDoc. So you watched the equivalent fractions YouTube video, and now you need to complete your equivalent fractions Google Slides on Google Classroom. So that's the one where you have to drag the things, the text boxes, and then you turn in your assignment. Tomorrow, make sure you do your YouTube video that you watch. I'm sorry it won't be me. It's kind of a funny song, kind of weird song, but it helps. And then you're going to do 3 different IXLs. Try to get a 90% or higher. I know you can do it. And then on Thursday, you're going to watch, and I hope you sing along. If you want to send me a video of you singing along, that would be awesome, with this fraction video. And then you're going to have a Splash Math equivalent fractions using models that will be due to. And remember, your whole HyperDoc, which is this page, that's what I call it, a HyperDoc. It means that there's links on here that you can click. This is all due by Sunday, April 26th. So you remember you have everything from this week will be due next Sunday, okay? I will see you all later. Bye.